Hello, I'm Bruce Lorenz, the temporary, and I do mean temporary chairman of the Cable Commission. It's been a while since we have gotten together. I think Susan mentioned since October, so that's a fair spell that we haven't been looking at the Cable Commission and all the things that are on air. So let's take a look at the agenda. The 6th of February here, and maybe we ought to introduce some new members are here. Zig, can we start with you?
Yep, Zig Novak.
Patty Haskins.
Bruce Lorenz.
Susan Hanlon.
Bob Parmalee.
Steve Moore.
I'm Mike Testa, Assistant Service Director for the city.
I'm Joanna Perino with WCTV.
Kevin Wallach, Business Manager for CityLink.
Okay, what do we need to maybe elect officers first? Joanne, is that what you would think would be our
I think that
task
would be
ahead?
according to our agenda here, yes. So we need
Okay,
to elect
all right.
officers.
Do we have a nomination for?
I have a nomination. I nominate Steve Moore to be the next
Okay.
chairman.
Do we need a second on that?
Second.
Okay.
Unless there's somebody else that wants to do it. I'm not pushing to do the chairman by any stretch.
Okay, all right,
Zig,
Steve.
Patty, feel free.
No, Patty just seconded your nomination, so I think she has already spoken about that already.
What I feel like. No, I'll be-
Any other nominations? Okay, nominations are closed. Let's vote. All those in favor of Steve Moore as the new chairman of Cable Commission, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Steve?
Yeah.
I was
That was a
in there
sucker
for a
born
couple
every minute
minutes.
is what that was right
A
there.
couple minutes, and
Yeah.
turn the gavel over to you. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right, well, we'll just go down the agenda and see what happens. We'll start with the approval of the minutes from the October 3rd, assuming that everyone has had a chance to read those. Anybody got any questions on the minutes? And we'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes. Yeah, and a second.
I'll second. Go ahead.
Vote also, let's say aye on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Aye.
Perfect.
Hey, Steve, I think we need to elect the rest of the slate of officers,
Okay.
the vice chair and secretary.
Hey, thanks, Joanna.
You're welcome.
Like I said, you should be doing this, Joanna.
That's okay. I've been here a long
We've approved the
time.
minutes, though, first. So let's elect a vice chair. So can we get a nomination for somebody there?
I nominate Bruce Lorenz.
Second.
You got a nomination? Any other nominations? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Bruce, do you accept that nomination?
Well, yeah, with a little help from my vision, although I'm an umpire.
Yeah, right,
kind of
I know.
Is an incongruity, right? I umpire, but at least the ball is coming toward me with the softball and baseball. But yes, that's fine. Thank
Perfect.
you.
Thank you, Bruce. Joanne, is there any other officers we need to elect?
Secretary,
Secretary.
yes.
All right, who's going to be the secretary? We're going to make a nomination. We're going to pick on one of
I'll
you.
volunteer to do it.
Well, I will tell you, it might change your minds. You don't have to write the minutes.
Right.
You just have to, I believe, sign them.
Yeah, I'll volunteer. I think I...
We'll nominate Bob Parmalee.
It's
I've
just a
been the
title.
Secretary.
We get a second on Bob?
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Bob, for volunteering. And with that, then we'll turn our attention, there's no visitors here, and we will turn our attention to the staff report. So we'll start with the service director.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll provide just a brief update on the fiber project because Joanne and Kevin will both review our annual reports for last year, and I want to give them all the time they need to do that. In short, the fiber project is going well. It's going well in terms of we're on schedule where we hope to be at this point in the project, and we're also on budget. So, so far, so good. Construction teams have completed splicing work recently in Weatherstone, on Good, Valley, Browse, High, College, Beck, Pardee, and Boyer Streets. Recent aerial placement work completed in Weatherstone, College, Treese, Westview, Westgate, Parkview, Linden, Hillsdale, Hartman, Broad, and the Overlook School area. Wilson and Silver Creek Streets have had the backbone and the lateral runs put in. We've got about 1,800 homes that are ready for service, and that means that basically they've got the fiber infrastructure, the drops are in, and all of the connections have been tested. So the electronics are in, and all of the testing has taken place. And then, the last piece of that are the installations that city crews do. So completed drops in about 100 homes in Euclid, 119 in Weatherstone. And then we've got about 150 that are pending throughout the city. So far, 425 residential installations have been completed. So just in way of context, I kind of think of it as there's three pieces to this. There's running the fiber, and that can either be done aerially, meaning in areas where the telephone poles and the electrical lines are above ground, or in an underground neighborhood, meaning the utility infrastructure is buried beneath the ground. And that kind of counts as the first piece of this. The second piece of that is basically the electronics, all of the network, all of the stuff that supports the actual fiber. So kind of think of it as the brains of the system. Those first two pieces are largely done by contractors. We have an outside project manager in Aspen, and Gudenkoff out of Columbus is the contractor. They do those pieces. And then finally, the last piece of that is the actual installation piece at the home. That's done by city crews. And, one of the things that we're diligently working on both within CityLink and the customer service representatives across the hall in CityLink's offices at City Hall are contacting our existing customers and setting up appointments for the installations at those houses. So throughout the process, the only time a homeowner will actually lose connectivity is really just for that hour that we've got somebody out there switching over the wire and then helping them get set up with their devices inside. So project's gone well at this point. We're in the winter. You can't do, you can still do the aerial work, but you can't do much underground. But aerial work continues. The drop lines basically coming off of the laterals and the outside portion to houses, that can continue. And of course, the installations inside houses. So we'll continue to be busy. And then as the weather gets a little bit warmer, the ground softens up, they'll start working in the underground neighborhood. So approximately 50% of the city is served by aerial or overhead wires, and then the other 50% served by underground infrastructure. So that's kind of the update on that, and I'll ask, does anyone have questions about that? Or
Any questions? Thanks, Mike, appreciate it.
And then the last item, and this is more of just a kind of a heads up, one of the things that we're going to be looking at internally over the next couple of months is really analyzing our cost structure, the cost of our packages, and the sales price for our cable product, with an eye towards possibly coming back to the April meeting with a recommendation for increasing the cable rate. Now, as you know, over the course of the 3-year project, we're really transitioning away from cable to the streaming product. But the reality is, with the way packages have increased, we're losing money on our cable subscriptions every month with our subscribers. So, for example, we lose about $20-some a month on our nicer package, just because content costs have gone up so much in the recent years, and we've not really adjusted the price. So we've still got to run some numbers and take a look at the operations, but just want to give you advance notice that could be a topic on our agenda as early as April. And those are the only updates I have.
All right, thanks, Mike, appreciate it. Anybody got any questions for Mike?
Just one question. How many people have we, and maybe Kevin's the one to answer this, how many people do we have that's changed over to streaming?
So roughly, there are half as many TV customers as there are internet customers. And so Mike had mentioned there's 425 people have been converted to fiber. Right now there's 226 customers that converted to streaming. It is going to be available to anyone, so even if you're still on the cable system, you can sign up for it. And There will be some messages put in upcoming utility bills, which will probably drive people more towards that. And certainly if there's an increase in price on cable TV, the pricing will be more favorable on the streaming then too.
I was going to ask you about that. What, I mean, obviously, if the cable goes up, will the streaming follow that?
The streaming's under a different type of contract negotiation, and our prices are set for a while there.
Perfect. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. We'll turn our WCTV update. Joanna.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. So all of you should have received our 2024 annual report for WCTV. It's about 20 pages. I won't go through every page. I know you're breathing a sigh of relief. I'm just going to go over some highlights. So as you see up here, our annual report. And at the bottom there, that's kind of become our slogan because so many people come in and when they leave, they go, "You guys are awesome." So we have this new sign on our door that says, "Come in, we're awesome." So in 2024, we've had 105 unique community producers. So those are people that are volunteers in the community that have come in to utilize our services, our training, our resources, and they have produced 1,591 shows in the past year. That results in about 1,752 hours of new programming. It is a little less than last year, about 130 programs less. However, we did have 2 churches that are no longer on WCTV. They have moved or ceased their recording their services. So that results in about 100 of those 130 because they were weekly church services. So still pretty comparable to years past. One statistic that I wanted to bring up is our WatchWCTV.com views. Now that's our original on-demand site, which some of you might know as Vibit. So last year we had about 62,000 hits on that, which is about 30,000 less than 2023. And here is why. Because we now have a YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is exploding. It's booming. I hope that you all have had a chance to look at it and subscribe and like it and share all of our programs. The statistics on that, these are actually the year end of 2024 statistics. So we have 3,555 subscribers. We have had over 900,000 views. We have over 3,000 videos on our YouTube channel. I just checked the statistics today, and within the past couple days, we have actually hit the 1 million hits mark or milestone. So we're pretty excited about that. And we are about 70 subscribers away from 4,000. So it is definitely growing. You'll see at the bottom there that we are not only viewed in Wadsworth and in the United States, but globally viewed in 49 countries. You'll see there. One of our popular videos that really helped us grow this channel was the Thriller video that took place in October last year at the Scare on the Square. It has almost 800,000 views to date. And the interesting part is only 300,000 of those views are from the United States. So WCTV is definitely international. That is our most viewed video ever in the history of WCTV. We've also had over 30,000 views on the Wadsworth High School football games from the past season. And we have had gymnastics, which we can thank Zig Novak for recording those gymnastics meets for us. We have over 25,000 hits on Wadsworth High School gymnastics. And the neat part about YouTube, which is why we really want to move from the Vibit or the WatchWCTV.com site into YouTube and promoting YouTube more, is that 81% of those 800,000 views on Thriller were the result of YouTube pushing that out to our viewers. So YouTube is suggesting WCTV's videos, which is huge. So we are also able to monetize our YouTube channel at this point. It's not, it's enough for a couple pizzas and maybe a few Cokes, but we have had some months where we've taken in a couple $100s, but the more subscribers, the more videos we get up there, the more that'll grow. So that was one of our goals, to be able to do that, and we've done it. So pretty excited about that.
So Joanna, with
Yes.
that, do you control like how much gets charged, or does YouTube do all that?
No,
And they
YouTube
just send the
does it.
money to you?
Yes.
You get a piece of it, right? They get
Yes,
a
it
piece.
depends on how many what advertisers buy into your particular video, how long people watch. There's all kinds of
Okay.
analytics on that. But yes, we just kind of look at our total each month, and you have to get at least $100 for it to be deposited
Oh,
in your
okay.
account. So if not, it carries over into the next month. So
Okay.
it's very automated.
Yeah.
But we hope it'll grow, and the more
Yeah.
people. Football was really very successful for us for monetizing it. And so the more people that watch those kind of programs, anything that has anything like a copyrighted music, which we really try and tell our producers not to use copyrighted music, but anything that has, even some of the sports where they play the warm-up music during or at halftime or something, when it gets recorded, will get flagged, and it'll say that you can't monetize it. So there's things like that block it from being monetized. The one that we would love to monetize
Yeah.
is the one right there on the screen, Thriller, but since it's a copyrighted song, that one can't be monetized. So anyways, we are really excited about the growth of the YouTube channel, and I really have to give kudos to Aiden Uzinski, who's up in the booth. He has been coordinating that whole channel, uploading videos, putting in the metadata, making sure they're, looking great. The best quality file that we can have is on our YouTube channel. And so he's done an amazing job. So, all right, and our next slide. So I think I've mentioned this before. We received a grant from the Blue Tip Festival in 2023. And what we earmarked that for was to create a podcast set. So we were able to, we've been getting pieces together last year. We finally got the set background designed and put in a few additional pieces, got the cool microphones and the headsets, and the microphones sound amazing. So we have started just this past couple weeks having producers record the podcast. You see on the left there is Jenny Young. Her podcast is called She Nanigans. And if you know Jenny, she owns She Did It Videography, and she's one of our producers, one of our foundation board members. She started her podcast again called She Nanigans, so hopefully you'll check that out. And then in the middle there is Gary McCubbin. You might know him he's the producer of Sonny and Friends with the puppet, those of you that were at the Clapper Awards. He was one of the big winners. And so he has written some short stories, and he is actually reading those stories as a podcast. So the podcast set is open to the community. So if anyone would like to create their own podcast, please reach out to us. We would love to have you. We want to utilize that as much as we can. And again, thank you to the Blue Tip Festival Committee for that grant, and the WCTV Foundation, who also kicked in some money for that. And then in the annual report, I go at length about some of our partners, community partners here in Wadsworth, the Chamber, the Blue Tip Festival, the Suprema Senior Center right across the hall from us, Main Street Wadsworth, the YMCA. But one of our biggest community partners is the Wadsworth City Schools, and I just wanted to give you an idea of how much programming that WCTV does produce in relation to the Wadsworth City Schools. You see there 243 events were recorded by WCTV or volunteers of WCTV that we have trained. A lot of sports, all the year-end events, the school board meetings, the morning announcements, the list goes on. And we just really enjoy this partnership, and it provides a lot of great programming for our community that I think they have come to look to WCTV for that programming, and we are happy for that. And then last but not least, my plug for fundraising for the WCTV Foundation. If anyone is free on Tuesday night, we are having a fundraiser at Chipotle. 25% of your purchase will go back to the WCTV Foundation. Our staff will be there at 4 o'clock having dinner, so please come and join us, or you can come anytime until 8 o'clock. You can also do takeout. And then, as always, our 40 times $500 raffle, where you can win $500. We are a few tickets away from selling 1,900 tickets. So as soon as we sell those few more tickets, we will draw for our next $500 winner. And that is all I have. I hope you'll take time to go through that whole report. Obviously, I didn't want to spend that much time on going through all of it, but there is just so much information in there and so many fun things that we do at WCTV. It's very hard to list all of them. So if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. And then if anybody else would like to take a look at the report, I will have it on our social media and our website, and I'll email it out to the producers.
So to buy a raffle ticket, do we go to the foundation website, or where can we do that?
You can go to the WCTV website.
Oh,
There's
just
a
the
tab
WCTV.
that says WCTV Foundation.
Okay.
And then there's a link there to purchase, or you can stop in, or you can go on our social media as well.
I just want to make a comment about, you are awesome.
Oh, thank you.
It's such you're fighting a battle of technology, and public access channels, you may be aware of it. They're a dying entity, and I just admire the passion of the staff and the innovation and the high quality of work that you do that leads to things like you're sharing with us and keeps you relevant.
Thank you. I appreciate
think that's
that.
really
And
important.
This year will be a year of
Yeah.
evolving into what we
Yeah.
need to evolve into. Yes, the things
Right.
that we were created for years ago are no
Right.
longer relevant
Right.
now, but we're going to keep going and
Yeah, I'm
keep
looking
people
forward to
engaged.
see what you
and
do, yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it too.
And I would like to second that. I, be very honest with you, I think the city underutilizes WCTV. With the people that Joanna's put up there, Aiden and a few of the others, these people are very creative. And I think that the city could utilize WCTV to promote the city of Wadsworth plus their projects. And I think that I'd love to see that take place.
Joanna, thank you very much. Any other questions for Joanna? Thank you, Joanna, as always. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
We'll turn it over to Kevin and CityLink update.
Great, yeah, it's been since October, so in the annual report, I'll update numbers from November and December and give you kind of a total on where we were for the year. So in the month of November, we added 8 internet subscribers. We lost 10 video, and in December, added 16 and lost 14 video. Typically, at the end of the year, the losses are temporary losses. They're vacationers or snowbirds, as we used to call them, who for whatever reason, don't enjoy this weather in the wintertime. So apparently they go somewhere warmer. But anyway, that's something that's very similar year after year. It's a seasonal thing. Year to date, we added 110 internet customers. So CityLink is at its highest number of internet subscribers that we've ever had. We lost 44 video subscribers. That's about half of what last year's video loss was. This is an industry-wide trend as people move to a streaming product. Now that we have a streaming product, hopefully they'll choose our streaming product, but there's a lot of competition in that space, so we'll see as that moves forward. Again, we've endeavored to find something in a streaming product that is affordable, accessible, that provides all of the things that people want to see here, like our local TV, access to WCTV, and all those kinds of things. All your favorite sports teams. Might be wearing one of those shirts today. So we don't miss any more national championship opportunities or so forth. But at any rate, it's an ongoing effort, and we also found a format that's very similar in appearance to what the cable TV linear structure looked like. So it's an easy transition for people who grew up with cable television. Overall, our average run rates this year, it's in that 2% range where we're seeing that is less loss and similar gain to what we've seen in other years. We did a study back in 2017, 2018, that basically indicated that there would be a point where it would be difficult to maintain this financially. But that's not been the case for us. We've continued to grow, and overall are pleased with the direction we're going in. Of course, the fiber project that Mike had updated will provide even greater opportunities moving forward. We always kind of break down the churn that we have, and basically we see very similar things month after month. The two largest sections of the pie there, the one on the right and down below, are people that moved. If they moved and reconnected, they're the green section of the pie. So technically that's not a loss, but we do count that as a part of what changed in our activity in the month. The orange is the piece that most people will focus on. That's the competition. We only lost one subscriber in the month of November to the competition. And mind you now, there's more than just one single competitor, where it used to be just the other cable provider here. Now you actually have two cellular providers that are offering service as well. So we continue to hold up pretty well there as well. December, similar numbers, a few more people went. Actually, of the 4 people that went to the competitor, 2 of those went to T-Mobile, which was a new offer in town. Over 12 months, the breakdown of the total number of subscribers that left for one reason or another, the percentages remain fairly consistent. But in the 60% range of people who left because they're outside of our territory, we can't service them anymore, or they left and moved to another location with us. And about 17% overall was the percentage of people that left to a competitor, whether it was one of those 3 that I mentioned previously. We still talk about smart Wi-Fi. It's important to note that as you moved into the fiber area, where we did have a monthly charge for the 2 plume pods, when you move to fiber, those are included in the price. So we're going to be offering a greater value on the new product. The pricing did not change. So if you're in a $39 price point now, and you have in that $39 price point 100 meg, when you're connected on fiber, you're going to go to 250 meg for the same price. So you're going to more than double your speed, plus your upload speed goes up exponentially. You went from a 3 meg upload on a cable system to a 250 on fiber. And if you were paying that $10 for smart Wi-Fi, that's now included in the price. So I think probably what I'm most proud of in the time that I've been here is CityLink has continued to offer an increased value for no more expense to the customer, and we think that that's a really good service to provide to the residents. Overall, we have almost 3,000 homes that now have the smart Wi-Fi in them. A wireless mesh network is really important today, which is why on fiber it'll be included for everyone. When you move to that high performance product, you want the ability to move anywhere within your home and have good connectivity, and that's what this device does. There's almost 6,000 of those devices out there. It could be as many as 15,000 by the time we get done with the fiber project. We'll see. We get information on those pods to see about the amount of uptime and how many devices are connected. And there's over 35,000 devices that are currently connected on those just less than 6,000 pods. So there's a lot of people using a lot of different things to access the internet. And it's not just, for entertainment. There are security cameras and Ring doorbells and a growing number of what they call the Internet of Things that will continue to see growth in those areas. And that most of those kinds of technologies require more upload, which was going to be a problem on the old cable network, which is one of the reasons we moved to fiber. Mike gave some numbers, and he was giving for last year. This is current. We have about 500 customers totally now connected on fiber, 246 on streaming TV. For anyone watching this, you can go to wadsworthcitylink.com for a more detailed map of availability. We will update those maps and reflect the new build areas, some of the roads that Mike talked about, by March 1st. Those areas will be blue on the map, and they will indicate where people can call in and sign up for service. And they would call into the regular 330-335-2888 number. As Mike mentioned, about 1,800. By the time we get to March 1st, there'll be about 2,000 homes that will have availability of service. That will be roughly 1,000 CityLink customers. We have about a 50% market share. So we'll have our work cut out for us just in getting our existing customers connected, plus the additional people that come over. So that pretty much wraps up the report for me, and I'll take any questions if you have any.
How long will it take before all the fiber is installed?
So the installation of fiber was planned for a 3-year project. We're at the beginning of year number 2.
Okay.
So all of this year and all of next year until we get all of the fiber built. The connecting of it could actually take a little longer than that because we're doing that all in-house with a team that really hasn't changed in size in quite a number of years. So it's quite a challenge. To Mike's point, we've done pretty good at managing this process so far and kind of being able to see around the corner as to what the challenges were going to be and have a plan. And we'll continue to do so.
So, as you do more and more of these, I would think it gets easier because you know what you're doing. What would it take to speed that up?
There are very few things you can do from a process perspective to speed it up. There is a proficiency that comes with doing the repetitive nature of this. So you're right, where we might block out 2 hours for an install, it might get down to 90 minutes. So that, over the course of a day and an average of 3 to 4 technicians in the load, it will make a small difference, but it's not going to be a big difference. The only other thing that could be done would be to look at some type of a process where we created a self-install. That has, pluses and minuses involved with it. And so we have to kind of weigh out whether or not we think speeding up that process versus, the number of people who would be disappointed because it didn't connect the way they thought. So we've avoided that at this point, and we would prefer to give people the personal touch of being in their home and connecting it, answering any questions and providing the best possible service.
And I suppose, it would take more people and more equipment to make it go faster.
Yeah. So the easiest thing would be to put more bodies installed with customers. Yeah.
You don't need any extra equipment or?
From an equipment perspective, the project is, kind of laid out in a very organized fashion. We know how many devices we would need to buy. A lot of the network was built in this past year, so it was an expensive year for that. We'll finish most of the rest of that with the exception of the devices that we connect in the home that we'll still be buying in the 3rd year. But again, most of it's just the construction, the underground, which is a challenge, which we have to take existing customers, convert them to another system, do a big part of their install in their home when we make that conversion, rip everything out of the ground, pull the fiber in and build it, reconnect all those homes, and then move to other developments. And with roughly half of the homes here being underground developments, that's a challenge.
Kevin, as far as the township and stuff goes, which we're outside, are those people going to be able to get into the streaming system? Now they won't be able to get fiber, I understand, because you're not out there, but
Yeah, so it's a great question. So basically, and I can tell you this because as we were building the system, I had a test account that I use in North Canton, Ohio. And yes, so if anyone has a solid internet connection, including people in the township, while they don't have that internet connection with us, they could take advantage of our streaming TV. So yes, that would work for them.
so that's a promotion that we could do to promote the system.
It is, and potentially gain new customers there. And there are a lot of people, we hear it all the time, like at First Friday events, who are just begging that we would get out to the townships. The network was designed in a way that if the city at some point decided to reach out and build to those, say to cover the number of homes we cover for electric, it's designed in a way that we could do that work. Obviously, the attention first is on the city itself and the existing customers.
So just to clarify, you don't have to have the fiber optic to convert to the streaming service.
That's correct. As long as you have a good, stable internet
Okay.
connection, whether it's through our cable system currently that you have internet or someone else's, you could sign up for streaming TV.
Any other questions for Kevin? Kevin, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We'll transition to the council committee reports, and we'll start with Susan with the city council.
Yeah, so, we didn't meet last time in December. So council, in December, we worked on the budget, was pretty much all we did. And after a couple of special meetings, we actually got one passed, so that was good. 2024 was a really busy year in terms of completing things. I feel like 2025 is going to be big projects and kind of getting ready for them. So some of the things would be the downtown infrastructure and improvement. We're going to have, and people will have the chance to take part in some public participation to get input again. I mean, we did that once before. We're not starting totally over, but we still want to pick up and get some public input into that process. And then another big thing that we'll be hiring engineers to design and estimate costs is the Brickyard Athletic Facility. We have to complete a plan and figure out what we're going to do to meet EPA requirements for our water system. That's a big, detailed, boring project, but we have to do it. It has to happen. In terms of parks and things like that, the Pocket Park will be finished this spring, probably even before spring. Well, no, we are in spring, yeah. So it'll be finished this spring. All the final little details to the Blue Tip playground, the splash pad is finished. They're still working on parking lot and restroom facilities and fencing and that kind of stuff. So all that'll get finished here in the spring too, I think, and be ready for full use in the summer. We've had a handful of interesting annexation issues that we've been dealing with and talking about. And of course, we have our streets improvement and repair program will be getting into full swing.
Questions for Susan? Thank you, Susan. Appreciate it very much. And educational committee report. So we're really proud to announce we have 2 staff member additions to our media communications. First of all, Aiden Uzinski, who is a member of WCTV staff, is taking over our kind of supplemental contract there that'll help us with all of our board meetings and a lot of our events at the school. Paul Taylor, who was our media communications teacher, resigned over the Christmas to take another job in the media field for the Cavs. So we are sad to see Paul go, but Aiden is going to be taking up some slack, so we're excited that Aiden is on board with us. And we have just hired a new media communications teacher, Najada Davis. He's a graduate at Cleveland State, lives in the Cleveland area, but he'll be coming down and being our media communications teacher. And tomorrow is his first day with us, so we're excited to get him on board, and certainly we'll bring him down to WCTV and get him acclimated and everything there in the near future. So exciting times here in the media world for Wadsworth City Schools. We're wrapping up the winter seasons with everything. I know as Joanna put on, a lot of athletic events are on WCTV, and we're excited in the partnership and sharing that enthusiasm that Joanna has with everything. And lastly, our intermediate school is still on track. Everyone sees it going up on our campus up there at the high school and middle school campus. We're calling it Grizzly Campus. That we're going to be 5th through 12th all up on that same campus here next fall. It's still on track to open in August, and keep our fingers crossed, because that will
How many
happen.
square feet is that school?
I want to say it's 119,000.
And how does that compare to the high school?
It's about, the high school is 100 and, well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
It
It's-
looks
it's-
giant.
It is big, but
Huge.
it's probably half the size of the high school.
Is it really?
Yes.
I guess maybe it's because it sits
Yes,
up
it's so
closer
bad, yeah.
to
The high school portion of it is probably about half the size of the high school portion, but then when you add in the community center and everything else, so that building's huge. It's huge, so. We're excited to have that all up and running here in the very near future, so. With that ends our committee reports, and do we have any new business to present here today? No? One piece, I don't know that we appropriately welcomed Patty onto the committee here. So Patty, thank you for joining us. Sorry for the awkward start that we had there, but it is the best committee that I've ever been on. So this is a well-run organization that we have here at Wadsworth Cable Commission. So with that, we'll lead to our next meeting date is April 3rd at 4 o'clock here in Chambers. With that, I'll have a motion to adjourn.
I so move.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And we are now finished with our Wadsworth Cable Commission meeting. Thank you.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.